When you get through chewing. Oh, is his mouth full? I'm sorry. I didn't realize you're eating it.
Dear Lord, thank you for your mercy. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for the beautiful weather. And just be with us as we make decisions on behalf of our people here. Guide and lead us today. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay, I've been informed this is the first PAC meeting for... Oh, the CNF. Never mind. Roll call, Shelley. Too much on my plate here.
Denise Taylor.
Here.
Keith Austin.
Here.
Bill England.
Honey.
Harley Buzzard.
Here.
Bill Bird.
Honey.
Sean Crittenden.
Honey.
Mike Dobbins. Frankie Harkins.
Present.
Wanda Hatfield. Rex Jordan.
Here.
Dick Lay.
Here.
Mike Shambaugh.
Here.
Mary Bakershaw.
Present.
E.O. Smith.
Here.
Victoria Vasquez.
I'm here.
David Walking-Stick.
Honey.
Ryan Warner.
Honey.
We have a quorum.
Alrighty, you guys have had a chance to look over the minutes from our March 29 meeting. Got a motion and a second for the minutes of our previous meeting. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Brings us down to our reports. Got Sean Slayton up first, and I think he's smiling as he comes forward.
Thank you. What a month. I want to express my appreciation again to our employees. It was a record all-time month for the businesses, and that included gaming and our diversified businesses. We exceeded our budget by $4.5 million. For the month, we exceeded what we did last year by $3.7 million. For the first time, we revenue busted $100 million. Our net income for the year, or for the month, was over 20. That's just fantastic result. And we're going to pay a record dividend of $7.7 million this month, is what I heard. So they'll give you a little more money to spend. Construction-wise, our Tahlequah project, if you've been down through there, the road work is winding up. They hope to have all the lanes striped so that everything can be reopened, and that's a lot of that's dependent upon the weather and them being able to do that. We began the site work. The OG&E substation will be located on the back side of the property. We think there's 2 sites under consideration, but it should be on the back side back there by that pond. Up at Hard Rock, let me back up. At that development, hope soon to announce several different businesses that will be going in there. We're in final negotiations with those. Some of the contracts are signed, but there's various things that we're need to happen before we can release their names. But we're very happy and excited about what we've been able to accomplish there. The Sprunk structure, if you have been by the Hard Rock, they began tearing that down Monday. I sat there and watched them. It was like almost like an old friend, believe me. That place made a ton of money for the Cherokee people. I believe it went up in 03 or 04, so it's been there. It was at the end of its useful life. They're still cleaning that up. We hope to begin the site work in the next week or 2 there. Very excited about what we're going to build back. It's going to be very nice, and I think it'll hit our target demographic very nicely. Let's see, on our cultural tourism things, I think Molly will be addressing some of these at the committee, but the replica pavilion across from the courthouse should be ready no later than July 1st, and we hope a lot sooner than that. Courthouse renovations will soon be underway. That's going to be the interior renovation. It won't be an exterior yet. We have done a lot there on the exterior with the rebricking and things. And then we have solicited bids to see what it would cost to renovate the Saline Courthouse on the interior. And pending pending how those come back and what people want to do with that, we'll analyze that and hopefully construct a plan to go forward with some type of renovation and preservation plan there. So that's it. Once again, I really want to commend our employees for what they accomplished. It's just fantastic. So with that, I'll answer any questions.
Hey, Sean.
Yes, sir.
That $4.5 million you said we're up for this month, you said that's a combination of the diversified businesses and CNB?
Yes, sir.
What percentage is this which?
I don't know what the split is, but certainly our gaming is the majority of that and will be for probably forever, certainly for a long time.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments for Sean? We weren't done.
Yeah, one more, Chairman. We was up at Oak Hill over the weekend, and they have an old Indian community building that was established by the Department of Interior BIA a long time ago, back in the 30s. And anyways, talking to some of the people over there, and a lot of them were wanting to preserve this facility, and there's an old mural in there that Cecil Dick did a long time ago. And right now, the Department of Interior owns it. I assume, are we in the process of trying to transfer the land?
Ginger's been working on that. Yeah.
Okay. And with the help of Molly Jarvis, how do you guys identify a piece of property that you guys are going to preserve? What's your process on that?
Well, I think it's largely based on just kind of a consensus of the council and administration, and it's brought to our board of directors, the cost anyway, and it's evaluated, and thumbs up or thumbs down.
Okay.
That's one of the things that we take a lot of pride in doing, and makes our employees appreciate what they've been able to do and give back to the nation over the years. So I think if that's something that needs to be considered, it sounds like Molly's got it on her list, and we just need to see, where it is and what it entails, because I don't know.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Chair.
Councilor Buzzard?
Sean, I'm certainly happy to hear that the Swain Courthouse is looking up. We've been trying to do this for 15 years, so maybe this is the year we get it done.
Well, we're certainly taking a look at it. We're gathering the costs. I think it needs to be a comprehensive plan. This is my opinion, so it doesn't count for anything. But given the vandalism that we've had over there over the years, I don't think it's going to do us any good to restore the interior of it and not protect the asset somehow, some way. So I don't think the interior renovation's the end of the cost out there if it's chosen to go forward with it.
Well, I understand we have a caretaker over there now on board, so I don't know if it's full-time, 24 hours, but I would envision a caretaker to live on the property.
Yes, sir.
So, anyway, the other question I had is on the legislation for the ball and dice game.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any anticipation
I
of
do.
revenues those may bring in if they do pass it?
I know we do, but I don't know what it is.
So we would probably be.
We're going to
putting them in.
benefit. We are going to benefit somewhat from that, but the real benefit to the state is going to come from those tribes down on the border. They're losing customers over to Louisiana, Mississippi, and with that there, they feel like they'll be able to make a bigger impact and not lose that play over to those states. It'll have some effect, but not a lot. We'll be forwarding the documents here that we'll need tribal council approval on, but before they move on.
The other thing is the Grove Casino. We talked about expansion, hotels. I guess we're still analyzing the patrons and stuff like that.
Yes, sir. That's doing better. We haven't moved to that phase yet.
Okay.
We're going to see what happens this summer before we make any determination over that.
Okay. And I did send you one about some runoff over there. I never did follow up on it, and it may got lost in the shuffles, but I'll
Might
send
better send it to
I'll
me
send it
again.
back to you again.
Sorry about that.
All right. Thank you, madam.
You are welcome. Councilor Bakershaw?
Hi. Sean, how are you today?
Great.
Listen, Sean, could you tell me which casinos of ours are making a profit?
All of them.
All of them are making a
The
profit?
only exception may be Will Rogers Downs.
Rogers Downs, but they're all making a
Oh,
profit?
yes, ma'am.
You're a business lady, if it's not making profit. I mean, you.
Well, then I have one more question. One more. How often does CNB, your board of directors, meet?
I believe it's every 6 weeks.
Every 6 weeks?
I believe so, yeah.
Monthly.
Counselor Lay?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Sean, on any ideas and thoughts on Ramona casino upgrades?
I'm not sure what they would be. We came through a period here in the last probably year and a half that it took a downturn. That has subsequently reversed itself and is going the right direction. So all of those kind of decisions are based on gameplay and being able to analyze that and have a justification for it. So I'll talk specifically with Mark about that and see where it is. Did you have something particular in mind?
Well, and I understood that, but we're back on the upswing with cattle
Yes, sir.
and oil both. And
Yeah,
that's our bread and butter.
Yep. Economy's rebounding. Things are looking up at Ramona. The one thing that, we've been concerned about that was brought to our attention is the number of wrecks out in front of the casino. And we reached out to ODOT, and that particular design was what we were told to do by ODOT. And when it was done, I personally had some of the questions that have been raised because to me, it was it's not far enough down to that cut across that allows people to have a lot of react time. So we reached back out to them. I haven't heard what they've told us, but what we decided to do is there at the intersection where you turn on to 75, we're going to put a flashing stop sign there instead of just the regular octagon one there, something that's in their face. And we're committed to doing whatever it takes to making it more safe for people.
And you've seen it and heard about it, probably trucks sometimes park it in the turn-off lane.
Yes, sir.
A truck driver with DOT tags and numbers and
Yeah.
licenses and you wonder where these guys' heads are at sometimes. But anyway, South Coffeyville.
South Coffeyville. Don't have any plans for that. That facility is really performing as is. At some point, we will look at maybe putting something permanent there, but it's sized just right for what that population is, gaming population is right now.
And it is, I meant to permanent size, permanent
Yeah,
building.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. At some point, we'll consider that. That's how it was built, as a temporary kind of deal.
So we're not there yet, I guess.
We're not there yet. It's not on the radar. I think everybody's happy with how it's going and performing, but like I said, that was always a phase 2 project. I will check into it and see if it makes sense to do that now.
Well, it's in Victoria District, but a lot of my
Yeah.
folks drive up there.
And we thank you.
It's a good performer for us, and the people, the community are happy. It's been a good partnership.
Thank you.
Huh?
Counselor Austin?
I didn't have a question.
Was it, okay,
Yeah.
I'm taking them in order.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's your
Sean, I
turn,
just had a
Sean.
question for you. Had my C&I folks in Stillwell, the communication since I've been on council hadn't been real good with those folks to your level. And I had just going to share with the body, I had a Cherokee man, grew up in Peavine, highly educated, had a group of folks where he was wanting to kind of get some communication better, which is really needed at C&I Stillwell. I know I'm there. And Sean, I can't understand by a guy not just speaking for himself. You can't just have him line up, but he was speaking for a place that we're all trying to improve, and he makes great points, and I can't understand why you wouldn't want to take the time to meet like I was trying to get us to do.
Sure.
Attorney General's office stepped in and said that could not happen, but let me finish. My only objective is for those folks to have their workplace where communication is brought to them. Everything from when I was first on, are we getting a bonus? Are we getting a bonus? Aren't we? Are we? And just the issues that the communication, I just can't see not wanting to find out what he's got to say. And I don't understand why the Attorney General's office said that couldn't happen. And again, we're the elected council. Councilor Walkenstick and myself, maybe you can answer on a totally different note. He's FOIA'd and GRA, maybe not. That's not the way to go. But can you, as the CEO, have somebody go get these information he's wanting? But it's like our hands are tied sometimes. I'm simply wanting communication with C&I Stillwell, only objective. And can you tell me why you wouldn't want to do?
Well, I appreciate that, Sean. You brought that up at the last point. I went back and checked, and to your question, the president of the company, a great Cherokee young man, Chris Moody, met with the individual that you
That didn't do much good.
According to him, it did.
Well, I'm telling you.
And then the next person in line that through the chain of command, that's how we try to do that. Stephen's the president of Diversified Businesses.
I appreciated that.
Chris Moody reports to him. So both Chris and Stephen had lunch with the individual. After the lunch, they talked and agreed to some to things to try to help things facilitate that. Felt like it was a good lunch, and he left happy.
Chris and Steve felt that way. I appreciate him, by the way.
And then subsequent to that, he also met with a group there at CNI, and they went over point by point what his issues were. The employee, by the way, is a good employee. It's not a troublemaker or anything like that. So, and then this week from that employee, we received a thank you, and he appreciated the attention that was given to him, and to help address what issues he had or thought he had. So, I want to make sure this body knows that contrary to what may be out there, we do meet with our employees. I met with 2 in the last week. They work through the chain of command, and we try to address the needs. We don't promise them they'll get what they want, but we do offer them a way to be heard. And in this case, I feel like we went as far as we could with that. Stephen Bilby and Chris Moody, 2 good young Cherokee men that are great leaders, and their heart is in it. They've done a lot over there to help that situation, and they were more than willing to meet with that staff. So I feel like that we've had a good communication process there once the issue that was brought to our attention, and I feel like based on the feedback and response we got from that employee, that his questions and issues were satisfactorily addressed. We are looking at doing better at communicating, not just there, but everywhere. And I believe at CNI they hold at least semi, if not quarterly, meetings with the employees to discuss goals and tell them what's going on and things like that. So I don't know if you can communicate with anybody enough That's been very difficult. It's not something unique to CNB or CNE or CNI or diversified businesses. It's a challenge when you have 7,000 employees scattered across 50 states and 14 countries to keep everybody informed. But we'll do the best that we can.
My question was, why wouldn't you want to meet with him? And I know Stephen and Chris, I appreciated them. They were wanting to visit with you. And I still don't understand it. I still don't understand why the Attorney General got involved there. But I would have welcomed a guy like that in my office. And I guess we're way off here, but I'll keep trying to communicate for them.
Absolutely. Appreciate what you got.
Counselor Smith.
Just a good observation. On Monday, I was at Hard Rock, and I come through the parking garage, come in where you put all your new machines from
Yes, sir.
the building. I was very impressed the way they look, and I was just noticing that there's been people up there playing that as it was on the floor.
Yeah.
So y'all must have did something right there, because it looks very impressive. I just
Well,
want to say.
thank you. It's been very well received. And it's kind of a phenomena. I think they think if they get up there, they're hidden, and maybe that's something that's an attraction to them, you know. But it's exceeded our expectations so far, how it's been received.
I'm surprised there wasn't one in the bathroom.
Hadn't thought of that.
That'll be next. Counselor Watkins.
We'd have to have a camera there, you know, that's probably right.
Love you, bad deal. Hey, Sean, does the CMB board, do they participate in the bonuses?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Did you have something, Speaker?
Yes, Will Rogers down. And the businessman that you are, and you've done well for this tribe here, I mean, outstanding. Do we have a plan if we're not making money there? We're making money everywhere else. What's the plan there? Is
We've
it
really
Horse
improved
Racing
that.
Commission, are they holding up a lot of this progress?
The Will Rogers Down is a state corporation. It's not a tribal thing.
Okay,
We manage that through the OHRC. The tax rate there for every dollar that we make, they get 45 cents of it. The tax structure at any of the casinos around here is if we make $1, the state gets 6 cents.
I like that.
Yeah. So right off the bat, we start trying to make money with 55 cents. Now, a little history lesson, a reminder, the only reason we own that track is that when the compact was negotiated, there's a clause in there that says the compact is in effect, and I'm paraphrasing this, and I'm not an attorney, so don't hold me to it, but that as long as there's a track in Oklahoma racing, the compact will continue. At the time, if I'm remembering correctly, the Chickasaws did not own Remington Park, and it was not doing well financially. So, as a defensive mechanism to ensure that we could continue having a compact and that the state couldn't, nobody else would come in there and take it and try to hold us hostage with it, we bought Will Rogers Downs. There's not a horse track in America other than maybe Oaklawn and some of those back east that are making money. But because of that, this record that we had last month, we can continue to operate our casinos.
Okay.
You're asking me if there's a plan. Yes, we try to manage that. It's not the gaming that's the issue, it's the horse racing and all the costs that are associated with that. And we're trying to cover them with 55 cents instead of 94 cents.
Well, thank you for that, Sean. That's the first time in a while it's been explained that way. Thank you, Madam
Aren't
Chair.
there also some limitations on the hours that you can game there
Yes.
that you don't have in the other?
We can only operate 250 games there. I think the minimum we've got in any of our casinos is 400 or 450. So you combine that with a high tax rate, limited hours of operation, The Claremore Market is kind of sandwiched between Hard Rock, the Osage. So it's got a lot of competition. I'm proud of what they did. We did a remodel last year. If you haven't been out there to see it, it helped a lot. And, you know, we're continually trying to improve that. And I appreciate what they've done over the years to get where they are.
How many employees?
Oh, it seems like there's 200 maybe.
Well, there's 200 jobs, so, okay, thank you.
Walking Stick, this is your last chance.
Oh, thank you. Hey, Sean.
Yes, sir.
At the groundbreaking for the Tahlequah Casino, they said 170 jobs promised, and then today I read in the newspapers 220 jobs, but that was including the casino and the businesses that are going into the development of it all. Can you answer how many jobs are going to be at the casino alone?
Yeah, I think we have 170 where we are.
At Tahlequah right now?
At Tahlequah right now, I think we're going to add approximately 45 to 50 for a total of 225 at that site, at the casino, the restaurant, the convention center, and all that. That's totally dependent upon, you know, the play there. We anticipate it will be more, but
So right now we have 170 employees at the Tahlequah Casino.
I believe that's correct, somewhere like that. I think it's 50 new ones is what we anticipated just for the casino. That doesn't include what will happen if and when we build a hotel.
Yeah.
There'll be more.
Okay. So the 220 is for the hotel expansion possibly and the casino.
No. We currently have 175. When we move into the new casino, we anticipate adding.
Additional 220 employees?
No.
No.
Once the casino's open, it'll be a total of 225.
Okay.
That's the best guess right now. We don't have a staffing plan firmed up.
Okay.
We have 175 currently at Tahlequah, so we anticipate adding 50 additional jobs just for the hotel, or just for the casino and the restaurant and the convention center.
Okay.
It'd be more if we do the hotel.
All right. Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, and we've got these other businesses coming in, so we feel like they'll add quite a few
Do we
jobs.
have these businesses coming in? Do we have an MOA with them on,
Yes.
on employment?
Some of them, yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm not sure what you said on employment.
As
We have
far-
an
as far as-
MOA about them coming in. and
For
they're
the
just-
Cherokee preference MOA?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Okay. All right. Thank
Okay.
you, Chair.
And Counselor Smith had another comment.
No. But more race days help at the Downs? Would that help any?
No, we want to do fewer, but don't quote me on that.
You just said that on TV.
We could get away with one, we would.
Counselor Vasquez.
It's a new casino here. What type of restaurant will be there?
Well, we've fixed it to where either we can operate it as a steakhouse like the new one at Siloam Springs. We've had great feedback on that.
Yes.
Or if there is a branded restaurant, they can go in there and operate it and it'd be separate and apart from us. And we're actively recruiting eating places to Tahlequah. You know, some of the challenges that we run into are the ones that you see in Tulsa have a demographic requirement. How many people live in 2 square miles or something like that. So we're still on the hunt for that. But if we don't find something that we think is suitable for Tahlequah, we'll do it ourselves, and we'll do it as good as we do McGill's and the West Siloam place.
Thank you.
Okay. Counselor Buzzard.
Sean, how long is it going to be before we have a structure back where the sprung?
1 year.
Pardon me?
1 year.
1 year?
Uh-huh.
And I know you moved the machines from there upstairs.
Yes, sir.
to the mezzanine. And I had a comment from a customer the other night. He said, Harley, do you notice the smoke in here?
Uh-huh.
And I guess all those smokers that used to be in the sprung have moved up there.
Well, they could have, and that'll
I
be an
imagine they
issue
did.
for a little bit. In the new facility, we've switched to, or we've designed it to be like the new ones that we've been building, where the air blows it up to the top and then sucks it out. So it'll be much better over there than what it used to be.
And those really work good. The Grove Casino was a really good example of
It'll
that.
be
And just to FYI on the Grove Casino, I've had comments about the restaurant over there. It's not big enough because on Friday night there's a 3-hour wait list.
Yeah.
I think I told the people on the bill they needed a different restaurant.
Yeah, we just didn't know what to expect there, and unfortunately, they cook really good food, so a lot of people
Yeah,
want
they
to
do.
eat there.
Yeah, they have a good food. Thank you, sir. Thank you, man.
That's it.
Okay, I think we beat you enough.
All right, thank
Go
y'all.
make us some money.
Appreciate what you do for us.
Thank you. All right, Lacey, you're up.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hey, Lacey.
I'll make it real short. We've moved from clean audits to formulating budgets, and so we sent the letter out to the programs earlier this month, and so we will have budget submissions due back from the programs May 21st. So we look forward to having those hearings later in the summer. And with that, I'll be happy to entertain any questions or comments you might have.
Anything for the treasurer? Yes, Counselor Baker-Shaw.
Yes, I noticed on the Brenda Walker Trust, was there any money connected to that for the charter? Or just the...
Can I see the letter? Did she not? Not for the tribe. It was Brandy here. Should Brandy gone? Let me get you an answer back on that. But the only thing that I'm aware of is a couple of pictures that came to us. But let me get you a firm answer on that. I felt like there was something, but it's not coming to my mind right now. Thank you.
Okay.
Is that it for Lacey? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Okay, we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Diane?
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have a special guest with us today, and if it's, with all due respect, may I introduce her?
I would not tell you no.
She is our project director from the Dallas Regional Office. Her name is Miss Cynthia Green, and she's been here monitoring our sector partnership, Brenda's program.
Come on
She's
up,
been here
Cynthia.
all week, and I just wanted to introduce her. She just wanted to see how we conduct business, and I just wanted her to meet the council. And she doesn't know that a lot about Indians, and she's been learning a lot about us this week. And Brenda and Deborah and Hunter and Travis have had her out and about. And I think that she's learned a little bit of Cherokee. She's trying to learn Cherokee words. Seal. But anyway, I just wanted to introduce her. She's here and she'll be leaving tomorrow.
Okay. Well, welcome. We're glad to have you. And every Cherokee is just as energetic as Diane. So we will wear you out. Do you have anything to say, Speaker?
Welcome.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed my time here, and I appreciate you allowing me to sit in on the council meeting.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Glad to have you.
Thank you. Okay.
Jeff Vance wanted me to tell you that Friday was the deadline for summer youth applications. And the reason that we're telling you this is because you're going to have employees calling you, because they're calling him now. And he said, we get more calls from employees than we do people outside of the nation. And they're saying, yeah, but we know about deadlines, but you can still take my son or my daughter or my granddaughter's application. They're on a waiting list. We will only have money for 650 students, period. And we've got over 700 applications right now that are complete.
Wow.
Anybody that comes in after Friday, and they've been coming in all week, when the school's let out, they'll be coming in. We've got 30 college slots. These were college students who came in on spring break and made partial applications so that they could finish those applications when they get out of school. So he already has those in separate folders. We have 12 interns that George Roach will be working with, and those have already been allocated. So we're just letting you know that right now, if some of these kids decide that they're going to go to band camp, or they're going to go to church camp, or go on vacation with mom and dad, and they're not going to be able to go the full 6 weeks, then we'll take them off the list and we'll start going down the other list. But we just wanted to share that with you. And Jeff said, please make sure you tell them, because they're the ones that's going to be calling and saying, well, my little neighbor didn't make the deadline, so can you take their application? Because I know Sean's going to call, and so's Buell, and so's David.
That's what I'm doing. I'm saying this right now.
I I don't know that you will. I'm just.
No, I am. I'm making
Well, okay.
every word you said.
But Jeff says I go through this every year, and that's why I sometimes get shingles. And he said you get shingles. We both get them. But it's just a joke. Me and him tease each other. We have the summer program is 6 weeks this year, and that we are planning a really good program. I was just talking with Dr. Gord. The Heritage Center opened the Heritage Center up for us to do our cultural event out there in July. We were going over to Job Corps, so we've been going over to the Heritage Center, and I asked Dr. Gord if we were going to be welcome to come back out there this year, and he said most definitely. So we're planning to go back out there for that. And then George will be taking his interns to North Carolina again this summer. So we're expecting a very interesting summer. I just wanted to share something with you. A lot of times you don't know. I know that for Councilwoman Baker Shaw, she is into the health area, and so is Councilman Dobbins. But we work very closely with the health department, and we've been in collaboration for 2 days with Mitch Thornburg and Dr. Grimm. They have some consultants that's been working with them on their coding, and we met with them today over at the Job Corps because we're looking at some advancement for our students over in our business technology as well as our CNA programs. And we're also looking at opening our doors in some of our outlining areas to do some coding programs to help with some of the need that's going to be there. So I'm just sharing that with you because we try to garner our programs around what our needs are here at the Cherokee Nation so that we can grow our own people. I just wanted to let you know that. State Accreditation Officer for the State Department of Education was at our Job Corps Center with Tulsa, Guthrie, and Talking Leaves, and Ramona Holt hosted them last week, and we were certified again. So Mona did a good job. So if you see Mona, pat her on the back.
Diane, who's over the coding? I should know, but I don't.
Mitch Thorne. He told us in the meeting today that he had about 30-something people that went through the certification process, and that 26 of them had passed it, and they were working with the others to bring them along. Brenda Fitzgerald, Travis Gully, Hunter Palmer, and Ashana Miles will all be in San Antonio this week. Next week, they'll be getting their economic development certification through OUEDI. And we are getting ready for the Stillwell Strawberry Festival. We will have a resource tent, which will be across the street from the county courthouse. So I'd encourage you, if you come in for the Strawberry Festival, if you're in the parade, come by the resource tent. We'll have displays set up there. Several of the programs will have displays. We've been there for about 4 or 5 years. Kim will be back next week. She and Daryl were in Washington, D.C. this week at the National Employment and Training Advisory Council. And we're going to be working on 2 grants. One of them is a lengthy grant that we're going to be collaborating with one of the other tribes on. And then John Overacker has been detailed over to Talking Leaves Job Corps. He's working over there with Ramona in the residential living area. Do you have any questions?
Take a breath.
Now, I got to get some Muskogee, that's why I'm in a hurry.
Okay.
I get one quick question on the coding program with Mitch Thornborough. What's the process, or is that a paid internship or a paid, as far as when those kids are going through those coding classes?
Okay,
is that paid?
Okay,
while they're
for
going to
Mitch's
class?
program, there was a group that came in to work with his people up there on the coding to get them certified. There's modules that you have to actually go through. It's online. You meet the first module. When you take the test, if you don't pass it, you got to start all over. And then you take the test and you go on to the second module. And there's several modules you go through. And a person, if they're very proficient in health, anatomy, and have the skills to use the computer, they should be able to go through it fairly easy.
So does Mitch provide training to pass those modules?
He actually can work with us on it, but this consultant group is the one that met with us today.
Okay.
So that we can expand that in some of the outlining areas.
Gotcha.
And the certification process would actually allow you to work anywhere. And that's the way we're going
Do we
with
have
a lot of
some
things.
positions in-house for medical coding?
Not medical coding, it's just coding.
Just coding in
Yeah.
general? Okay. All right, that's all I have. Thanks,
Okay.
Diane. All right, thank you, Chair.
Thanks, Diane.
Thank you.
See you next
And
time.
Deborah will be here to answer any questions about tarot. Thank you.
All right, Anna. Come on up.
You have a copy of my report. I did just want to update you. We held the Youth Entrepreneur Day And our turnout wasn't as big as it usually is because of the school issues, but we were impressed that we still had in Tahlequah 23 business plans submitted from 40 students from 6 schools, and in Claremore we actually had 40 students, 36 business plans in 7 schools. So we have more in Claremore. And Veneta High School took 1st through 4th place in business plan. Now, Vian still won overall, but we were impressed, and I think that might have been the first time Veneta had been there. So, yeah. So, other than that, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
I actually have several things about your report. Your report's just all marked up. I was looking at your grants that have been submitted and that have been awarded, and I just wanted to congratulate you on all of those that you had gotten, and wondered if you had heard anything on these ones that were still pending at the time of your report.
No, we have not yet.
And then on the business entrepreneur workshops, I just wanted to be sure, the ones that are held in Pryor, is that at the VOTEC?
Yes.
It's NT,
Yes.
so, okay. And then on the Cherokee Arts Center classes, you are listing some ICW cultural art classes.
I saw they put that on there. We just, and we probably shouldn't do that. That's not a public class. Those are classes that we hold with ICW, with their, with some of their children.
Okay, that's what I was hoping it was children and perhaps their foster families, or is it?
It's mostly the kids. Mostly
Okay,
the
awesome.
kids, yeah.
That's what I was hoping it was. Okay, that's all I have for you. Anybody else have anything for Anna? Yeah, you're getting us when we're tired, so you're getting off easy. Thanks, Anna. We'll see you next month. Okay, the tarot certifications that are in the book. Deborah, do you believe that this list is good?
Yes.
No additions or anything? And I wanted to thank you for being responsive. I had a question on one of them earlier in the week and called, and she was able to help me with that. So I have a motion to approve them, and I have a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Okay, we're easy on you.
Thank you,
The community assistance, you got a new sheet passed out. So everybody check it over. Be sure you've got the things on there that you need.
There's, I have 3 to add for Counselor Lay, Children's Community Church for 1,000, and correct me, Mr. Lay, on that. Is it Alloy? How do you pronounce that?
Alloy.
Town 1,000, and Nowata Baptist Church for 1,000.
Go ahead, Counselor Crittenden.
$1,000 Cherokee National Treasures Association. $1,000 Jeremiah Foundation. $1,500 Bell School. Keeping up. $500 Stillwell FFA. Then I have a law enforcement one later.
Okay.
Anybody else have any other changes?
Jody, did you add the $1,000 to Tahlequah City Library?
Is it not on there?
It is.
Is
It's
it in
on
there?
here. Okay, if there's no more changes, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Brings us down to law enforcement. I have a couple of additions to mine, Jody.
Okay.
I need $3,500 to Shoto Police Department and $1,000 to the Cherokee Nation Marshal Service.
Through the Cherokee Nation Marshal?
Marshal Service.
Okay.
And then Sean, did you have one?
Yeah. Stillwell Police Department, $7,615.
I don't know. Yeah, I did last time, so.
Okay.
Okay. Frankie, could you give me a motion to approve? Got a motion and a second for law enforcement. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Okay, on your roads request, I think there was a change.
Yes, there's a
I
new
can't
sheet
find mine right now.
for Counselor Austin. There's an addition for 156th Street, Bridge Phase 2, and it's split between motor fuel and motor vehicle tax.
Got a motion and a second on the roads. All those in favor? Any opposition? Okay, sports teams.
Motion to approve.
B. Okay, got a motion and a second. All those in favor? Any opposition? And the livestock, were there any changes to that one, too?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second on the livestock. All those in favor? Any opposition? Brings us down to new business. Rex, would you take the minute? And it will be the one that was handed out.
Yes, we have a substitute, Mod 8A.
Title should be the same, right?
Yeah, that was same. This is an act amending the legislative Act 26-17, authorizing the comprehensive operating budget for fiscal year 2018, Mod 8A, and declaring an emergency. I put that in the form of a motion.
Got a motion and a second on the budget mod. Are there any questions? All those in favor? Any opposition? Okay, seeing none, are there any announcements? Okay, we're going to move right into the PAC meeting as soon as IT tells us we can. So
5 minutes usually.
who was the second on the mod? There was seven. Who seconded the budget mod? Dick did. Okay.